I am so sorry. I clicked the wrong thing. I clicked the wrong thing. So let me get set back up here. Oh man, I greatly look forward to the days of increase. You know what I'm saying? To where we're not making do with what we have, working with what we got. but we got, some high-tech stuff going on. So let me just update the title of this stream if I can. The second piece. Let's see. Let me edit this. Now let's see who jumps in because obviously YouTube is not going to probably not going to send out notifications again. But we already got 33 people in here. If you could just share this, so people are knowledgeable. Like, hey, we lost the first live stream, but here's the continuation. Let me go on my phone, bring the chat up. Amazon was at the door. I'm chatting in the other live stream. There's still some people in the live chat. Y'all bear with me. Give me some grace. But I'm glad I can still be in this previous chat. Let me see if I can pull the link from this chat and from this live stream and post it in the previous one. Looks like it's giving me trouble. Let's see. I apologize, y'all. One day I'll be set up all professionally and this type of thing won't happen. You know what I'm saying? But right now we just make and do on the laptop. Got the laptop, got the phone going. We make and do with what we can. All right, so just posted the link in the other chat. So let me catch up on the chat before I continue with the second XRP dream. So Anointed Flower says, Abba told me to position myself for wealth. Amen. XRP Dream. What's going on, Crypto Knight? Appreciate it. Thank you. Crypto Knight, I'm going to wait before I say something, but I want to make sure Crypto Knight's in this live stream before I say something. So if you're in this one, Crypto Knight, just say what's up. Let me get through the rest of the messages on the old chat, on the old live stream. I don't know if you know, but a prophet from Culture of Excellence said that Israel striking Iran's power plant is a major sign for the wealth transfer, and the wealth transfer will happen days after. Makes sense. I tried Caleb and Brown. They do not provide services to New York, but you're an Indian resident. You're a resident of India or a citizen. So what are you doing? Either if you're trying to join Caleb and Brown, you need to use your Indian credentials. If you're trying to join one of these others, it sounds like you should be using your Indian credentials regardless. But earlier in the chat, I can't remember what was said exactly, but there was an issue. Oh, Palau ID. Yeah. So Palau ID, Well, you don't have a US. Do you have a US ID card? Just an ID card? But either way, like, just think about it, right? If you can use your Indian credentials, your ID, your citizenship, whatever it is, to sign up on Caleb and Brown, then do that. Um, must have been important. Yeah, my bad, y'all. I just clicked the wrong thing again because here I am. I'm just on one laptop. I got these tabs open. I'm on my phone. I'm trying to make it work. So my bad, y'all. Um, let's see. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. All right. So we're caught up there. Let me go to the new chat. Okay. Hello, Whispers. Hello, Robert, Edgar, Matt. Yes, everything's good. Psalms, comma, Nikhil, CEO Williams, Tamila, Faye. Thank you all for coming back. Bambi. Okay, so Crypto Night is here. Okay, so one thing I want to say, y'all, please take this in love. Okay. Please take this in love. All right. A lot of you flock to the sugar. A lot of you flock to the candy. What do I mean? The sugar is the prophetic dreams. The sugar is the prophetic dreams. A lot of y'all flock to that. If I make a video saying Shiba Inu prophetic dream, and then I make another video on what you should know about stable coins and something that's more practical, this prophetic dream Shiba Inu is going to get way more views. But this stablecoin video is much more important. Okay. It's practical. A lot of the dream videos, there's nothing practical to it. Now, don't get me wrong. I have prophetic dreams. I share prophetic dreams. There's a place for it, right? But oftentimes a prophetic dream is simply that. You don't get anything to apply. You don't get anything actionable from it. Somebody has a prophetic dream tomorrow saying XRP is going to explode. I've known that for years. What does that do for me? Right? But so people like Kryptonite, like myself, like Brother Keith, we actually try to teach practical things, technical things to strengthen your knowledge, to equip you, to empower you to navigate this. But y'all don't watch it as much as you'll go watch someone give you this mysterious breakdown of some mysterious dream they had that doesn't benefit you at the end of the day. Y'all flock to that. That's sugar. It tastes good, it's sweet, but too much of it is toxic. It has no nutritional value. The practical stuff, that's the broccoli and the lettuce. It don't taste good, but it's good for your longevity. You know what I'm saying? It's going to strengthen you. It's going to build you up. Have a balanced diet. I have a sweet tooth. I like myself some sugar, right? But I can't only eat sugar. I got to get some nutrition too. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let me see. Don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you. Thank you, Bambi. If y'all can hit the like button here, and if you forgot to on the last one, once we get off here, if you could go back to the first live stream and hit the like there. Um, thank you, Psalms. Today is the holiest day of the year, Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur. God bless you all. Amen. Amen. Now, I did say in my October video that I actually made in August, pointing to October. I said October 11th, which was yesterday, right? I said, once that day comes, if something significant has not happened, then I'm going to be expectant. I'm not saying October 11th, something's happening. I'm saying from that point forward, I won't be afraid to get my hopes up. I'm going to be looking for something to happen after October 11th. You know what I'm saying? And so here we are on the 12th, right? Um, Hey Corey. Hey, hello Esther. Edgar. Is it a rebuke? Yeah, it might be a rebuke. It might be a rebuke. A rebuke does not have to be a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Um, People need to educate themselves on the fundamentals behind what's driving the value of what they hold. Amen. Okay, cool. All right. All right. So I talked about the XRP dream share and shared. Okay. Last night. The angels were saying, be quiet. I shared the XRP 300,000 dream that was shared with me earlier in the week. The woman who very well could be an angel was saying, be quiet about it. Okay, now I want to share this dream that was shared in my Discord server. I'm just being very careful, making sure I'm clicking, I'm clicking the right thing. All right. So let me navigate to this dream real quick. Um, Let me share my screen. Let me zoom in some. All right. So was it in cryptocurrency? No, I think it was in dreams and visions. Okay, yeah, charity. All right. So charity's dream. Let me zoom in a little more. So she said she had a dream that she was sitting in front of a computer looking at the market when she came across XRP. XRP was at 60 something cents and she saw it slowly go down in price. She was not looking at a chart, but was looking at the amount of the coin. As she saw it in the 30-cent range, she started panicking and was frantically trying to find her debit card and log onto a crypto app from her phone to buy XRP. She was trying to move so fast, but the price got all the way down to 6 cents. It was happening so fast. Let's just say she was not able to buy any XRP because it had went back to its original price, somewhere in the 60-cent range. All right. So this is very interesting because at the time I read this dream from Charity, it was shortly after I sent another message to the brother who shared the XRP 300,000 dream with me. And that brother believes that dream was confirming a buy limit order he has. A buy limit order he has where he would be buying 300,000 XRP. And so he feels it was confirming that that will be filled, that that's the price he has and everything is good. Okay. And so then for me to get on Discord and read Charity's dream, where essentially the message was, hey, it's going to drop, but then jump back up. You're not going to be able to buy manually. It means you need to have a buy limit order. And so before Charity even shared that dream, I'm like, okay, what does my buy limit order need to be at? Because I don't have any buy limit orders for XRP. That will change very shortly. I mean, if not tonight, tomorrow, that will change very quickly. But so across these three dreams, Sharon's video, the 300,000 XRP dream, and Charity's dream, the message is one, have your buy limit order set for XRP. Two, shut up about it, right? If and when your orders are filled, be quiet, right? I mean, we already talk about in my member section, we talk about like how the number one rule when you gain wealth out of nowhere is don't tell anybody right away, at least, keep quiet about it. That's in general. You win the lottery, be quiet about it. That's why people will receive their lotto winnings anonymously. Okay. But now we're talking XRP specifically. Be quiet about it, right? I think maybe Sharon has shared a dream in the past where it was almost like people were being pursued because they had XRP. If it wasn't Sharon, maybe it was Gabe. I can't remember who it was, but I've heard this. I've heard this. All right. So have a buy limit order or multiple for XRP. And when you have your XRP, shut up about it. Excuse my strong language, but I'm using strong language for a reason, for emphasis. All right. I just keep thinking of a video I was watching where he said October surprise he saw in a vision or dream. Yes, just watched a vid about what we could use as a stablecoin other than USDC, and crypto backed by gold, I think is ideal because it can still rise too. Why are you against USDC? Do you mean USDT? USDC just got a partnership, not necessarily a partnership, but they are connected to Sui. Sui's network is the first network to have native USDC, the first network, period. Um, yeah, that's the dream Sharon shared last night. I've had so many dreams about discretion when it comes to the wealth transfer. Amen. Well, what? So someone said if XRP falls to 6 cents, she would be at 7 zeros. Not necessarily, because I don't think that dream indicates like a market crash. I think it's specific to XRP. The gentleman who shared the 300,000 dream with me, they pointed out how there have been a couple of prophetic words about XRP dropping because uh, the powers that be, if you will, are trying to shake people out of XRP. But it's going to backfire on them because it's going to jump back up so quickly that they themselves aren't going to be able to get back into it after it drops. Um, so this could just be XRP. This may not be the entire market, you know. BW member for 8 months. Thank you, BW, for your membership. God bless. 8 months. That's a long time. We have a couple of 1 year members, you know. I started my channel membership in September last year. So we're at a year. We got about 165 members. So speaking of that, we have 165 members, and only about 60 of them, 60 of you, I should say, are in the Discord. The Discord is part of the channel membership, and you're missing out on some stuff if you're not in the Discord. Now, you can have your reasons for not wanting to be in a group chat or Discord. Hey, I respect it. I just want to let you know there's more to the membership if you're not in the Discord. There's more. There's a lot more in the Discord. There was also some people that spoke about XRP falling to 0.0001. Yeah, I'll just say the brother, um, some of the price points he shared with me are low, like sub penny. So seek the Lord. I don't have a specified price point yet, but I'll probably set a few buy orders at a range, you know. All right, so that's XRP. What do we got next on the agenda? All right, so now we're about to segue. So I'm going to share a dream that was shared with me September 21st, I believe, okay? And I'm sharing the dream for a specific reason, but there's also a date mentioned in this dream. So we're going to segue. So I'm going to share this dream for a certain reason, and then we're going to look at that date, and then we're going to move into our dates section, prophetic dates section of this live stream. All right. So let me pull up this dream. Let me see. All right. All right. So they say, Marcus, I just rewatched the video report of Is Abundant Wealth Transfer coming this fall? So that's the video I did in August talking about October. I don't think it's a coincidence that this replay was posted today, September 21st. And so on September 21st is when I made it public. So it started as a members live stream, and then I made it public. So they say last night I had the stream. I was outside on this island. Liz was with me. I'm not really sure where this was at. That was not highlighted. Liz and I saw this iguana fly through the sky to a tree. We thought it was weird looking and wondered why we don't see more of them. They were not common there like they are in some other places. I said to Liz about this sort of being an island. It was more like a peninsula, I think. We were going to leave now. It was 5 p.m. and I saw it was dark outside. When we got outside, I saw in the sky the northern lights. It was playing like a movie, and different crypto coins were moving around each other, kind of like they were dancing. I knew XLM and XRP were there, but there were a bunch of other coins not highlighted to me as much. I saw two moons and they were right above each other. I knew it was an eclipse. I wanted to take a picture, but I knew God didn't want it public for everyone to see. I told Liz, all excited, that God was saying this is a sign, and then told Liz, still all excited, that I had a dream a month ago about the northern lights and that God said it would be a sign that the wealth transfer was here. I thought when I had that dream, we did have the northern lights a week later. Now, for those of you who don't know, the northern lights have been popping off this week. All right. I mean, they kind of been popping off all year, but there's a lot of, reports. One day ago, missed the northern lights. Here's where they're forecast to appear next. One day ago, one day ago, one day ago. So just yesterday, right? And I saw people on Facebook even posting about it. All right. So this dream, she's talking about the northern lights. The part I highlighted was me reflecting in this dream about a dream I did have on August 3rd and how we did see the northern lights a week later on August 12th. This part was true, and I did in fact come to pass. Did in fact come to pass, just as stated in this new dream. I was curious and looked up Eclipse October 2024. What I found was shocking. It said the annular solar eclipse is October 2nd, 2024. But when I scrolled to the middle of the page, it also referenced October 17th as being the third eclipse this season. All right. So October 2nd, you probably don't recall, but October 2nd is the same day that I heard Bitcoin 10x. That was October 2nd. So there was an annular solar eclipse on that day. And now she said it says the third solar eclipse is October 17th, which obviously is a day that has been highlighted by the praise 02. Right. So now it's interesting because she also points out, where is it? There was a date in September. Is it later in the dream or in the email? I'm not seeing it. Okay, anyway, it's probably in the actual email. Okay, anyway. So she says, I'm not entirely sure what the two moons mean. While the word eclipse isn't mentioned in the Bible, I think it's referenced here. I'm feeling the eclipse in this dream is referencing the death of an era to a birthing of a new era. Tried searching the biblical meaning of two moons and found in dreams, two moons can have different biblical meanings. It could represent a season of double blessing or favor from God, indicating that he is going to fulfill his promises in your life. It could also symbolize supernatural illumination, revealing hidden truths or insights. Dreams are often symbolic and personal. All right. Then they say they agree with not putting dates on things. However, they wouldn't be shocked if something significant happened during this time. Yeah. And the thing about dates, man, is like, yes, we know the dangers of dates. We've heard many people say, hey, this has happened on a certain date and it doesn't happen. At the same time, like me, for instance, if I have a dream and I hear a date clearly in that dream, I can't ignore that I heard a date. You know what I'm saying? You can't just act like you didn't hear it because you're scared, people are going to hold you to this or whatever the case may be. I mean, if you hear a date, you hear a date. Um, but we have to also be mature. We have to also be mature and understand, like, it's very evident, right? I haven't even gotten into the October dates yet, but it's very evident God is talking about October and highlighting October. It's clear. It's not a question. All right. So if November 1st comes and you're not a millionaire, please don't be an immature baby Christian pouting, saying these were false prophetic words because I'm not a millionaire. That's not how this works. All right. Just because you don't see something in the natural doesn't mean something didn't happen in the spiritual, right? Something could have been set in motion. Um, Something could be happening behind the scenes in the natural that we just as the general public don't have knowledge of, right? There's a lot. Now, I'm not saying this to justify people in the past who have said something absolutely will happen by this date and it doesn't happen and then they don't even own up to it, right? I'm not justifying that at all. But I am saying, let's approach this in a mature manner. So, that dream was, talking about the northern lights, which we're seeing going off right now. Two moons, which is something I've heard, being mentioned in the news recently. So some interesting times for sure. Now they talk about October 17th, right? Okay, so let's so the Praise 02, she's highlighted October 17th. She said in one of her dreams she saw a crash happening on that day, correct? So that's this coming week. Um, so we'll see what happens. But we do know the 17th is the start of a festival. Which festival is it? Which festival is it? Is it Sukkot? Uh, Feast of Booths? Tabernacles? Yeah. Or is that the 16th? Either way, that's the festival or the feast that's starting on that day. Right now, 7 days from that, to talk about one of Sharon's recent dreams. I'm sorry, one of her recent videos where I think she talks about a dream that Kelly had, where she says, essentially on the eighth day, it's as good as done. On the eighth day, it's as good as finished. Right now, the 24th October is a feast called the eighth day, right? And so I think that that's what Kelly's dream is directly referencing. And so what I think we could potentially be seeing is that the 17th, something gets set in motion, right? Then 7 days pass, right? And then on the eighth day, it's as good as finished. Now, another thing about that is it's as good as done, it's as good as finished. I don't know what Kelly said exactly. I'm hearing this third person from someone else who was talking about this dream, not even from Sharon's video. Uh, but the thing about that is it's as good as finished. Doesn't mean that it's literally done, right? So, like, if you're going hunting, you shoot an animal, it's still breathing, but it's bleeding out. It's as good as dead. It's not literally dead, but it's as good as dead, right? So, it's like, again, to speak about maturity, let's not just say just because we step into October 25th and you're not a millionaire that this prophetic word was wrong. No, you know, it's as good as finished, right? But I do think what's happening is on the 17th, something is being set in motion. By the 24th, it's as good as finished, right? Whatever that could be referring to. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the 24th a little bit more later. But first, I want to talk about December 17th. First, I want to talk about a date of December 17th. Okay. So if you were tuned in to my first live stream about my first weekly wrap up live stream, and we talked about multiple things. We talked about China. We talked about a dream I had with the Tether digital IDs. And, we talked about Velo and multiple cryptocurrencies, right? Well, in that video, you'll see, and I don't have it pulled up. But let me see. Wow, I have a dream here from December 17th, 2021. But that's not what I'm that's not what I'm trying to share. Uh let me find this. Okay, okay. So in that live stream where I'm talking about the dream I had with the Tether digital IDs, right? People were minting digital IDs through Tether. Okay. Now, at the very end, I kind of in passing, I shared, I heard December 17th coming to an event or coming to a bend, right? December 17th, right? So probably too bright for you to see, but at the very bottom, all right? So I had this dream September 25th, and I heard December 17th. That's the heard clear date, December 17th, coming to an event or coming to a bend. And whether it was, I wasn't sure what I heard, but whether it was coming to an event or coming to a bend, either way, what it means is it's like a critical point. It's like that point, that date is a critical juncture, right? It could be a pivot point, it could be something changes, something ends, and something begins, but it's a critical point. Okay. Then in the Discord, so here we got the Discord, the value of the Discord again. Somebody shared a video where somebody else completely unrelated to me was talking about December 17th. Okay. So let me pull this video up and we're actually going to watch this video. It's not too long. I was not aware of this video at all. I knew nothing about this. I've seen this guy before. I remember seeing this guy when I first got into the wealth transfer. I had seen his videos pop up here and there. So like 2020, what was that? 2021 maybe, right? It's been a while. I don't watch him anymore, but somebody in the Discord posted this video. Just give me a moment. Sorry. let me pull it up. I'm in the Discord. I might as well share my screen so y'all have something to look at. So I'm in the links and file sharing section of the Discord, where we post links. Okay, I'm coming up on it. Here's 2 moons. Here we are. All right. So I think it's this one. It's this one.
Right now, it is a time of war.
So are y'all familiar
Many
with
of
this
our family
gentleman,
members.
Dana Coverstone? Before we begin, just wondering if y'all are familiar with him. Let me look at the chat before I press play on this. So this was all the way in 2020, y'all. I had no idea about this. This is all the way in 2020. All right. October, funny enough, October of 2020. All right. Yes. Feast of Tabernacles booth. Second. Yes. The Discord is a great community. Amen. Thank you guys for the shout out. Yes, Kingdom Fit. Thank you. Click that like button. I thought, just so y'all know, there's something that YouTube's getting ready to release. It's called Hype. Okay, it's called Hype. I think you get 3 hypes a week, and you can hype a video, right? And then there's going to be a hype leaderboard. What this does is it allows smaller channels to get in front of a larger audience, because the more hypes they get, the higher they can get on that hype leaderboard. And I think once you have, there's a limit to how many subscribers you have, right? So if you're above the subscriber limit, you can't get on the hype board. So it's specifically meant for smaller channels to get more visibility. So I'm just letting you know ahead of time, if I put out a video in the future, you think it's a really good video that more people should see, hey, be on the lookout for that hype button. I'm giving y'all the behind the scenes scoop. It's coming. Hype. Okay. Anyway, let me get back to the chat. So it's like a like on steroids. Okay. And I think what I heard is you get 3 free per week. You can buy more, but you get free ones as well. All right. So use them wisely. Use them on this channel. No, I'm joking. October 17th is a super moon, closest one of the year. Okay. 2 moons in the UK. The praise said a market crash on the 17th, and Pastor Keith said the economy would crash before the election. Okay. I didn't know Pastor Keith said that. I talked to Pastor Keith on the phone offline, so That's good to know. Yes, Feast of Tabernacles. Thank you all. Thank you all. 24th October is also the anniversary of the start of the 1929 crash known as Black Thursday. Wow. Wow. I did not know that. Wow. Wow. And how many years is that? That is 95, 95 years. Wow. Wow, that's kind of crazy. That's the anniversary. Wow. Okay. Uh the Prey said she was at the airport on October 16th and she was wearing a bulletproof vest, so maybe a terrorist attack happens. Yeah, and maybe that affects the markets. Interesting note, we've talked about how much the number 24 has been brought up. I heard someone say it will happen on Thursday, October 24th, and 8th day in holy days. That's heavy. December means 10. Is this December 17th represent October 17th? That would be crazy. December means 10, which it does. It does, like DEC, decade, 10, decimal point, 10, tenths, every decimal point behind, every digit behind the decimal point. Yeah. Wow. Look at y'all. Look at this community just coming together and dropping insights. Could December 17th represent that would be hold on. You got me. You got me pausing on that one. Hold on. Wow. Could December 17th mean 1017, which is October 17th? Wow. What I heard was December 17th coming to an end or coming to a bend. Wow. Wow, that's a good one. That's a good one. That has me thinking. That has me thinking. Wow. Okay, let me continue. uh okay, y'all are familiar with him. Jude said we're going to hype you, no worries. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Okay. Someone else did the December 12th. Wow, man. Wow. Could it be October 17th? Wow. Wow. Okay, well, let's watch his video and see what he's saying about December 17th.
Hey, good morning, folks. It is Tuesday, October 20th. Last night I had the compilation completeness of a dream that I've had over the last several days. It started about the 17th or 18th of October. This one got my attention, especially since we're so close to the election. The second part is a little bit more contentious. I've sent it to two of my friends to look at. Once again, I'm not going to try to interpret what these dreams are. I'm just telling you what I had. I felt the urgency to get them out this morning. So here's what it is. I saw what looked like an atlas with an interstate lines all over the nation. Like if you're looking down at an atlas and you see the interstate lines going all over from state to state, and they were flashing with bits of information going all over. It looked like a data map. It appeared to be like a network of sorts that was obviously overworked. And some of the data points were not flashing. Some were the places, cities, smaller places. You had flashing. You had things that were moving. You had data points that were moving almost like traffic. But I could see there were small workers in white lab coats, and they were trying to work on the areas where the data was not flashing. I saw hammers, I saw guys with laptops, I saw people who were trying to work out the minute details of why this point wasn't flashing or why this point was flashing too hard or too fast. And I could see the areas heating up. I heard concerns that the circuits were going to go hot. That's what they said. Those circuits are going to go hot, and if they go hot, they will fry. And so that was the language I was hearing. And they said they're going to go hot and get fried if they could not slow the system down. And suddenly, from the West Coast to the Midwest, and it started Washington State, Oregon, California, there were these big flashes. And then I saw smoke from the data points that seemed to represent those bigger cities. And they stopped on the western side of the Mississippi. So it started all the way on the West Coast, went to the West Coast, or to the western edge of the Mississippi River. I was not seeing explosions. I was not seeing bombs. I was seeing like systems shutting down because they were so hot. And as the data points, the flashing got closer to the bigger places, the bigger cities, it got faster and faster and faster. And almost in the background in my dream, I could hear that like a warning sign that happens in a laboratory or something like that. And the lab coat guys, they were working feverishly to fix these, but they couldn't get the system back online. So instead, They were trying to I could hear them saying, reroute that system, go around this city, go. I heard them say, go around Reno, go around Reno, go around Reno, get through Vegas, go here, go there. And they were trying to reroute the system to bring whatever the system was back to life. But as they were doing it and rerouting it, the bigger cities were still sending up smoke clouds. It was like you would see in the old Western movies where the cloud, like someone had like a Native American Indian with a blanket or something going over it. It was almost like the data points were sending up information about what had happened there. I did not see Native American Indians. I did not see anything like that or people doing the smoke cloud. But it looked as if there was something interrupting the smoke as it was coming up, almost like it was sending out a signal of information. And then there was a countdown clock. There was no countdown clock at first, but now on the other side of the Mississippi River, there was a countdown clock. And it was counting down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And when it reached 1, the eastern side of the Midwest started having the same flashpoints, and the cities there began to smoke, and the circuits were fried. And I could hear those guys yelling, the system's going up, it's going up, it's going up. And then they would scream, it's going down, it's going down, it's going down. Circuits are going to fry, the circuits are going to fry, and then there would be these flashpoints, and you would see the smoke. But when the flashes reached Philadelphia, and this was specifically the city that I saw where all this was happening was Philadelphia, the network line that was red, it looked like a fire hose that was pulsating with like LED lights inside of it. But when it got to Philadelphia, the network line was red, flashing, went into where the Liberty Bell was sitting, and went underneath the Liberty Bell. And when the pressure began to build up, and it was like watching water in a fire hose, it just filled it up, filled it up, filled it up, came underneath the Liberty Bell. And when it got underneath the Liberty Bell, it blew up, and the Liberty Bell went flying straight up in the air. And it split in half. The bell split in the middle of the air. It blew through the Liberty Bell up into the air like this, and then the Liberty Bell split in half. And it fell in such a way that the round area landed on the ground, and it was rotating. It was like going back and forth, just wobbling back and forth. It didn't land on the flat edge of the bell. It had been cracked in half. Once again, and the crack was where it had split through the whole thing. So the crack became what split the whole thing in half. It stopped rocking after what seemed like in the dream, several minutes of just rocking back and forth like this. And then the Liberty Bell began to melt. It was almost as if a huge heat source, or from the data point that fire hose was so hot that it was melting now. So the Liberty Bell began to melt, and like heat was being applied. And then I saw that the lines of data were all headed towards Washington, D.C. from there. And it looked like the city had these octopus arms, and they were trying to fight to disconnect the data lines. And what I assumed was they were trying to keep the explosive power of the system shutting down from hitting Washington, D.C. And so these octopus arms came out, and they were trying to disconnect the systems. And then there was one that just kept flashing, kept building up pulses. It seemed bigger and more extreme, carrying more data, more information than the other lines I'd seen in the interstate area before. Though there were people wearing suits and ties, this was business attire. I saw justice. It was not necessarily Supreme Court justice. I did not see faces, but I saw judges. I saw people in suit and tie, business attire, professional business, and they were trying to basically pull this line out of Washington, D.C. to keep it from blowing up or whatever. They were trying to pull this line away from the city without avail, to no avail. This thing kept going. It finally blew up because all the connections went to the Capitol building. That's exactly where it was going, to the Capitol building. It finally blew up, and the building literally cracked in half. So I've seen the Liberty Bell crack in half, and now I saw the Capitol building crack in half. And it issues this huge smoke cloud. And as the smoke goes into the air, it creates a word, and that word was discovery. Discovery was the word that was in the air. So you got the halls of Congress cracked in half. You've got the smoke just billowing up, and it's spelling this word out in the sky, which is the word discovery. It's not like smoke that's dissipating or clouds. It stays there in the sky. And there are people that they're running now. And they're not running from the explosion. They're running from the word they see in the sky, which was discovery. Then the scene changed, and I saw a rotunda of the Capitol, and there was a closed casket in the middle of the rotunda. And the sign on the casket stated that inside was the Democratic candidate for the office of president. And there was a calendar hanging above that casket, and it had the date. Specifically, clearly I saw it. One of the first times I've seen an actual date, not on a calendar, but on the paper, it said December 17th. That date was clearly spelled out, and I'm not going to say someone's going to die on the 17th. I don't know what to say about it. I'm just telling you what I saw. That's all I'm doing. But it said, the calendar hanging above the casket, the sign had December 17th circled. Now, one of the sons of the Democratic presidential candidate was there, but not the other. And his wife was there, and she was looking down at the ground. Nobody was crying. Nobody was crying. There were also many congressmen and senators from both parties in the room, and they all had their heads down, looking at the floor, and they were shaking them just violently, just making fists and shaking their heads violently. Also, all their shoes were not on their feet. The shoes were piled, like when you walk in the rotunda area, all the shoes were piled there. So all these congressmen, all these senators were basically barefooted. There was a couple of the females that had socks or stockings on their feet, like almost like a pantyhose type stocking on their feet. Everybody else was totally barefoot. And then a prominent senator stood up and demanded to see the body. And that's when the sergeant at arms rushed up, and he said, with several Marines, by the way, and he said, there will be no viewing of the body today or ever again. There will be no viewing of the body today or ever again. And the senator sat down and collected himself. Then he walked over to that pile of shoes and he dug through all these shoes until he found his pair. He put them on and he sat there for a minute, looked around. You could tell he was getting angry, and he rushed out of the room. And he was running like at a sprinter's pace to get out of there. Smoke was still rising outside, and he's running towards the White House with both fists clenched like this. And his mouth is moving, and I did not hear the words, but I could see that he was cursing. Not like swearing, like cussing. He was cursing the White House. He was cursing the leadership. He was cursing the leadership. I don't want to put words out there because I did not hear what he was saying, but he was obviously cursing. He was upset with something that was going on. He was intent on making a change. And he stopped for a moment near the Washington Monument. And he looked back, and when you look back, there was about 20 to 25 other people who were following him, men and women. I can't tell you parties, I can't tell you who they were. I did not see these faces. The runner, yes, I knew who it was. I'm not going to say, but nonetheless, 20, 25 people are following after him, but they're holding their shoes in their hand while they walked. He told them to hurry, but they just continued their very steady, almost cautious pace to get to him. And then he sneers at them, and he sneers at the White House, and he begins sprinting towards the White House as fast as he can. And at this time, I saw the man I'd seen in the previous dreams. He was standing in the place where the president gives the State of the Union address. He was standing in the halls of Congress right there where everybody sees the president give the State of the Union address every single year. And he tapped the microphone. It was one of those real thin, it wasn't a Shure SM58. It was a real thin, very professional microphone that was there. He tapped the microphone 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then he stated in a very loud voice, "A house divided against itself shall not stand." And he emphasized the word shall. He said it like this: "A house divided against itself shall not stand." And the emphasis was on the word shall. And then he pushed the microphone down, just put his hand and pushed the microphone all the way down to the podium. And he walked to the door at the rear of the room. And on that wall, there was a panel of probably 25 or 30 light switches, just your flip switch. And one by one, he flipped them down, one by one, until every light in Congress, in that building, in that room, went out. And that was the end of the dream. So I had this dream over the course of the last 3 or 4 nights.
All right. We're going to stop it there. By all means, check out his channel if you want to see more. Okay, so he saw the Democratic presidential candidate in that casket. There was a calendar above the casket that said December 17th, circled, right? I didn't know about this video, this stream, or anything. And so last month, I heard in my sleep December 17th coming to an end or coming to a bend, either way. And BW brought up an interesting point. You know, December means 10. So could it be pointing to October, the 10th month, October 17th, which is a date that has been highlighted? That's interesting. That's interesting. But his dream is obviously pointing to a death. And of course, we know death can be literal or figurative. I had my blue hen dream that I shared earlier this year, where the blue hen was stabbed through its chest and killed. It was dead, right? Now we know Joe Biden is a blue hen. He's an alumni of the University of Delaware, whose mascot is the Blue Hens, right? I didn't know any of this when I had the dream. But so he has a dream where he sees the Democratic presidential candidate in a casket. December 17th. Like there's a lot here. Like, okay, is December 17th saying October 17th? Right? Or is it just December 17th? Right. I want to bring up another thing though. Right now, he said very distinctly it was the Democratic presidential candidate. He said that very distinctly, right? But I also had a thought recently that a death we could be seeing soon is that of King Charles, right? So to tie this back to the British live stream last week, and I just found out today. I didn't know when I was preparing for this. I knew I was going to mention King Charles, but I didn't know that he's diagnosed with cancer. Like he's been battling cancer this year. I didn't know that. And last week I shared a dream from someone else about Prince William and Kate Middleton, and now we got Middletown, Hurricane Milton, and somebody shared a dream with me this week where Prince William was now king. It's just the way sometimes it seems like everything is connected in the spirit. You know what I mean? It just the connections are just, but sometimes you can get lost in the depth of the connections, as they say, going down the rabbit hole, right? It's just like it's so deep. But let me check this chat. December 17th is the 10th month in the Hebrew calendar, Tevet. My husband had a dream recently. Someone came to him and said America's declared to be in recession. There's an economic meltdown. It was on Thursday. The 17th and 24th are Thursdays, yes. Okay, so discovery is what market participants say we don't have as the markets are controlled. So what do we think? Do we think, and I can't put a poll from here. I'd have to pull it up. Let me pull it up on the laptop. I'm going to make a poll. I'm going to make a poll and see what people are thinking regarding the market. Regarding the immediate action of the market. All right. Do we think, because every day the market is setting like a new all-time high, right? So in the immediate future, like this month, right? Before the end of this month, which direction do you think the market is going? Run or crash? All right. I put the poll. It's in the live chat. Just very generally, which direction do you think? And it looks like you can't see the poll on the phone for whatever reason. I see it on the computer, but I don't see it on the phone. I've had a dream with no shoes on, like Sharon, probably a year ago myself. I got kicked out restaurant. Then I was going to get presents with giant guards. What I've seen at times is not having shoes means you're unprepared, which makes a lot of sense with his dream. I didn't even think about that till right now. All these Congress people weren't wearing shoes. They were unprepared for what happened. right? And we've talked about God, you know, basically surprising them. You know, they got their plans and they think they're wise and they think they got control and it's all figured out. And God's just going to do something that they don't expect. Okay, y'all can see the poll on the phone. That's good. No, Robert, I haven't looked into those things. You think there's a short bull run followed by a crash. All right, so we got so far, let's see what we got. We got 30 votes. 57% are saying crash, 43 are saying run. So it's not as decisive as I thought it might be. That's interesting. That's interesting. But see, are we also I'm talking stock market. I'm not talking crypto. Does that change your vote when I get specific like that? I'm talking stock market. I'm not talking crypto. But that's the December 17th date, right? Now we got something new to think about. Does December 17th mean October 17th? With December meaning 10, October being the 10th month. That's very interesting. Very interesting. And now I want to talk about, Congress is on break right now. Wow. Abby says, yes, it changes the vote if I say specifically the stock market. Okay. Now I want to talk about, y'all can keep voting, but I want to talk about the second date. Well, this is probably like the third date being mentioned, but October 24th, right? That's the 8th day, right? So earlier this week, I was driving home at night. Okay. I pulled onto the highway. So I'm driving like 70 miles per hour on the highway, and my eye is drawn to my left, right? I'm driving, and my head just kind of snaps to my left. My eye is immediately fixated, focused on a building, on a sign that's on a building, an illuminated sign. And let me pull up the logo so you can see what the sign was. Let me pull up the logo. All right. My eyes were immediately drawn to, focused, and fixated on an illuminated sign for UBS. Okay. UBS. UBS is a Swiss bank acquired. I'm sorry, Credit Suisse was acquired by UBS last year. If you've been around, you remember I did a video last year about a Swiss bank collapse being a potential catalyst to the wealth transfer. Okay. So my eyes were drawn to this UBS sign as I was driving. It was spiritual. That's what I'm trying to illustrate to y'all when I point out how my head just kind of snapped and my eyes were immediately focused, and it was the spirit was drawing me to this. Okay. And then I remembered my dream from last year. Okay. Then I thought about this prophetic theme that I've recognized, this prophetic 1-year theme where you receive a revelation and then a year later it manifests. Okay. I've seen multiple instances of it now. I was just listening to The Praise, one of her recent videos, and she pointed out how this dream that she was bringing up, she saw something happen a year and a day later, exactly a year and 1 day later. So this is a theme. Okay. This is a theme, this 1-year theme. It's a thing. Okay. And so I go and I look at my Swiss bank collapse dream video. The date I posted that video was October 25th, 2023. All right. The 8th day festival is October 24th. Okay. So exactly a year and a day, if you want to add some change, right? But 1 year, right? And so I shared this with somebody in the Discord. And so I'm sharing everything that I just said to you all. And then I realized that's when Sharon released her video where she's talking about the 8th day, a few days ago. She released it at the same time this was happening. This whole UBS, my eyes being drawn to the sign. At the same time that whole thing is happening, Sharon released that video talking about the 8th day, the festival, which is on the 24th of October. All right. So could we be looking at, I mean, man, what are we looking at? We're definitely looking at something happening in the markets, man. And we need to be on watch from pretty much the 17th through the 24th or so, right? So as I said earlier, the 17th could be when something gets initiated, right? And then it runs a course over 7 days. And then the 24th is like whatever was supposed to happen is now established, right? But UBS, I mentioned in that video, if you haven't seen it, the title of the video is Swiss. Well, that's not the entire title. Never mind. But in the video, okay, so the poll, now we're at 60% crash, 40% run for the market. But let me share this tab instead. So the video, let's see if I can find it. It's just, we got all these 40 days of prayer videos. It's right here. Will the Swiss bank collapse trigger, this wealth transfer? So if you haven't seen the video, it's this video here. October 25th last year. Let's look at the chat. Yeah, Bambi said 3 keys. Yeah, I noticed that too. Because like a week or so ago, somebody sent me how they've seen my face pop up multiple times recently, and then I think they had a dream where I had 3 keys in the dream, and each key was a different color. So when I then saw that UBS logo and I noticed the 3 keys, I'm like, is there a connection even to that? Thank you, Ty Thomas. Ripple has connections with UBS. UBS, that's us. Us, who's us? I had a dream August 15th, the green candle shot up high and fast and turned red and dropped as fast as it went up. So BW says, yes, Marcus, you are confirming the whole week like I mentioned to Sharon on Friday. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's because the 17th. Yeah, I mean, because here's the thing. And shout out to the Praise 02. But as I was saying in the warm-up in the member section before we started this live stream, it's just hard to see. It's hard to, because in her Eiffel Tower dream, she saw the SPY, the ETF, right? The S&P 500 ETF go up to 667. Not saying it can't, but it's just very hard to see it reach that number by the 17th. Monday is a holiday this week. And so you got Tuesday and Wednesday for the SPY to go up like 90 points. So maybe it means something else. and maybe the 667 is symbolic. But that's her dream. I mean, if she says it's not symbolic and that's the number, that's what the spy's going to reach, they by all means. But I was just looking like, okay, what could it be then? You know, because there's clearly something on the 17th. Clearly, I mean, it's the start of a festival, so clearly, the 17th is a highlighted date, right? And then we got the 24th, which is the 8th day, right? And so, yeah, it sounds like something gets set in motion, plays out over the week, and then it's completed on the 8th day, figuratively speaking. Vince McMahon. Yeah, good old Vince. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows what's going on with that guy? I didn't watch the Netflix documentary or anything like that. But who knows, man? Clearly I'm not wishing death on anybody, but that would be insane if some news article came out within the next week or so along those lines. That would be crazy. Okay, so we got October 17th, we got December 17th, which could be October 17th. We got October 24th. But what's interesting is, so the person who sent me the dream about the Northern Lights, right? They mentioned a date of September 18th as well. And I pointed out to them that September 18th, I think that was like one of the previous eclipses or something. September 18th was the day that the Feds cut rates. That was the Fed rate cuts day, September 18th, right? So we got a financial event on that eclipse on September 18th. We got October 2nd. I don't know if there was a financial event, but October 2nd is when I heard Bitcoin 10x. That was an eclipse. Then we got October 17th. It's actually called, I think it's called like an almost eclipse or something, near eclipse, something like that. But October 17th, where according to these prophetic words, there's another event expected. And apparently, the 24th is the anniversary, I think BW said, of the 1929 crash, which is crazy. So it's just interesting, you know, with September 18th, October 17th, how there could be these financial events tied to eclipses, you know. And obviously earlier this year in April, you know, there's a big deal about that eclipse as well. So my exhortation, like I said earlier, you know, let's be mature. Let's understand that things can and typically do happen in the spirit before they manifest in the natural. It's clear that God is highlighting these dates. There's support, you know, confirmations, multiple people. These dates are clearly being highlighted. So let's not look at it as, oh, that means I need to be a millionaire by this date. That's not what it means. All right. We got to be more mature than that. So let me check the chat again. So how long we been going? We've been going 2 hours. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Just under 2 hours. That's not too bad. I sent a note about Vince McMahon. There's a story about him on Netflix. Yeah, we knew. Yeah, we knew that was coming. I think I posted on before it even came out, but I haven't watched it. Okay, everybody. That's that. Thank you for being here during the live stream. Thank you for working through the one technical issue where I accidentally ended the previous live stream. If you could go back to that live stream and like it. If you didn't, just click the like button, because now I need extra love, because now I have a split live stream. So it's just like the views are going to be messed up. You know what I'm saying? So if I could just get some extra love, you could click the like button here, click the like button on that one. And I'll do what I can on my end with the end screens to point people to this live stream, and maybe I have to edit the intro of this one, cut out some stuff. Who knows? I'll do my best to salvage the situation. But thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, part of the channel membership is the Discord, access to the Discord where people are dropping gems, not just me. It's a community thing. So every joint supplies, as scripture says, right? And I mean, $3 a month, man, $3 a month. Not only a Discord server, which is well worth $3 a month, much more, but videos, member section videos, live streams, etc. So and help support what I'm doing here. Just it is what it is. No need to hide that. There's nothing wrong with that. So thank you all for being here. Yeah, and that's that. I'm gonna keep checking out the chat, but I'm gonna stop the live stream. So God bless you. And we'll be chatting soon.